transgression. In 1920, there was this con artist called Joe Fury, and he had made hundreds of thousands of dollars conning people. And he met a man called Frank Norfleet. Frank ended up falling for the con, and he lost $45,000 to Fury. See, Fury had done this hundreds of times, and he had embarrassed so many people, but Norfleet was not like other suckers. He went to the police. They couldn't do much. So he said, I'm gonna take care, then I'll go after these people myself. He said, if it takes the rest of my life, I will get them. He scoured the country looking for them. He found one of them, got one locked up in prison. He kept going. He tracked down another, roped him like a calf and dragged him through the muddy streets to the town jail. That's 2 down. Then he went outside the country. He went internationally. He went to England, Canada, Mexico in search of the leader, Joe Fury. But he found his partner, Mr. Spencer, W.B. Spencer. Chased him through the streets, and this man was so scared of the legacy that Norfleet had created that he turned himself in. So this partner of Mr. Fury turned himself in. He eventually found Fury, personally handed him to face justice, and eventually Norfleet found Fury in Jacksonville, Florida, hauled him off to jail. But he wasn't done there. He had gotten this group who got him. He continued on to Denver and determined to break up the entire ring, spending not only large sums of money but another year of his life in the pursuit, and he managed to put all the con ring's leaders behind bars. After 5 years, this man Norfleet had single-handedly destroyed the country's largest confederation of con artists. It bankrupted him, ruined his marriage, but he died a satisfied man. And these people, you're going to come across these people who will go to all ends of the earth to destroy either you, if you've crossed them, or if you've crossed somebody they loved, and maybe I'm talking to somebody now who's willing to do that, to go to all ends of the earth. Interpretation. And so it's recognizing that the years of borrowing money, the living in cheap hotels, with revenge over his embarrassment and ruining his marriage, to us, to some of us, that just sounds insane. I'm not saying it sounds insane to me, I'm saying to some of us, some of people, it sounds insane. But you have to realize that for some people, overcoming embarrassment and revenge is worth any price. Be warned, if you practice deception or trickery of any sort, study your mark well. Some people's insecurity and ego fragility cannot tolerate the slightest offense. To see if you are dealing with such a type, test them first. Make, say, a mild joke at their expense. A confident person will laugh, an overly insecure one will react as if personally insulted. If you suspect you are dealing with this type, find another victim. See, Fury, that's where he made the mistake. I guess he didn't have the emotional intelligence and EQ to realize that this person wasn't to be fucked with. Keys to power. The ability to measure people and know who you are dealing with is the most important skill of all in gathering and conserving power. Without it, you are blind. So with that being said, if you want to turn people down, it is best to do so politely and respectfully. Even if you feel their request is impudent and their offer is ridiculous, never reject them with an insult until you know them better. I think this is just the smartest thing you can do, because you never know. I don't think you really ever know what somebody's capable of until you truly test them. And do you want to do that? Do you really want to know what somebody's capable of? I'm talking about in a negative light, to destroy people and things. People will be sometimes quick to burn bridges, and this makes you think, really, don't burn any bridges. Maybe mentally in your own mind you can burn the bridge and move on, but physically, in reality, keep it open. Women, old relationships, you don't have to verbally, physically, emotionally hurt this person or deceive these people, because you just don't know what they're capable of. These people could tell hundreds of people and ruin a reputation or ruin something that you hold of value to you, and you never know. like swallow that impulse to offend, even if the other person seems weak. Because one day, that person may be in a position to hurt you. One day, that person may be ultra successful. One day, Michael Jordan was playing in his backyard, cut from his high school team, people talking shit to him, and then the next day, hypothetically the next couple of years, the man was a professional basketball player who's in the NBA, one of the best basketball players to ever live. See, those people are talking now, they ain't talking now. They're nothing. Now he says in 2 final words of caution in judging and measuring your opponent: never rely on your instincts. You will make the greatest mistakes of all if you rely on such inexact indicators. Nothing can substitute for gathering concrete knowledge. I disagree. I think that there's a lot to be said about instinct and feelings about people, but combining that with concrete knowledge is the best, I think. So I think instinct and concrete knowledge, but have the knowledge first, because instinct is risky. Instinct is subjective, and it's not. You can't write down instinct. You can't put instinct on a piece of paper. You can't verbalize instinct. I'm struggling to do it now. Second, never trust appearances. Anyone with a serpent's heart can use a show of kindness to cloak it. A person who is blustery on the outside is often really a coward. Learn to see through appearances and their contradictions. Never trust the version that people give of themselves. It is utterly unreliable, because people give different versions of themselves every day depending on the context and environment they are within. I do this, you do this. Whether you want to admit it or whether you realize it, you do it simply because you behave differently around different circles of people. So that's why the concrete knowledge of understanding the person you're with in different contexts plus instinct is the best method to use to understand somebody. Image: the hunter. He does not lay the same trap for a wolf as for a fox. He does not set bait when no one will take it. He knows his prey thoroughly, its habits and hideaways, and hunts accordingly. Reversal. What possible good can come from ignorance about other people? Learn to tell the lions from the lambs, or pay the price. Obey this law to its fullest extent. It has no reversal. Do not bother looking for one. Law 19. Know who you are dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person.